Semien, Maddox, and Bochy all tossed over the check swing.
Yeah, and that was a 50-50 call at best. I thought Duran absolutely went around. Semien, you could absolutely make a case that he didn't. You could make a case that he checked a swing. You could make a case that he swung. It's that's
also an impossible call live when it's.
Oh, it is.
It was, like I said, it was 50-50. But I can't be outraged when something is 50-50.
Plus, I don't like.
Marcus said it right afterwards. He said, I shouldn't have even checked because it was clearly a ball. And he's right.
Right. He should not have checked. He shouldn't even have offered at it. Sometimes you get players that are upset that they struck out. They're upset that they swung at it. In this case, he was upset that he even offered the pitch, and that kind of exacerbated the entire situation. But, I mean, that to me, that's a tough one to argue. Like, you're going to die on a hill on something that was 50-50 like that. Yeah. I mean, that's just a really weird thing to die on. But, look, I mean, it's maybe a tough call to make.
Maybe the frustrations are mounting.
Look, he had gone 30 of his last 3 for his last 30. And you know, obviously he had a breakout game the other night, but I mean, he's got to be frustrated with how he's playing, with how the team has been playing over the last, week and a half, week plus. It's tough.
Gun to head right now, or you got to bet your salary. Who wins the West?
Houston.
Wow.
If my salary has to be on it, it's Houston.
Yeah.
If it's a little less than that, then maybe I'd say Texas. But
the safe bet is the team that is. Now, I'll tell you this.
They're banged up. McCullers, Yordan Alvarez.
McCullers gone for the year. Izzy Garcia gone for the year, too?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 2 pitchers and an MVP candidate. And they don't have Verlander anymore. He's with the Mets. They ain't the same team. Framber's great. Christian Javier's great. They got good pitchers. They do. Is it Hunter Brown. Like they got good players. They got a great system too, and they'll make a trade. But yeah, if I ever bet my salary, I would probably go Houston.
Maybe I'm seeing this the wrong way. Maybe I'm homering it up since Sean says I am the station homer now, which is wild that we've reached this point. But
you or Corey.
The interesting thing, I don't see that as 50-50 even. I thought there was no way in hell Semien swung last night. I didn't think I thought that was an easy no call on the check swing.
Of course you would.
Why?
Of course you're the only person. We've been talking about this for 4 hours. You're the only person who said that it wasn't even close. The bat went to the exact midway point. So how could that not be a 50-50 call? It was exactly there. Dontrell Willis was shown it, and he's going to take the pitcher side normally on FS1, and he's like, ugh, and that was exactly my reaction. Like, I can't tell. I don't know. I can't tell. And you thought he easily checked it?
Yes.
You're a homer.
No, I'm not. I think the side angle was the most deceptive. If you take the overhead angle, which was, I believe, the last replay they showed of it, that one's easy to see.
That one is.
I agree with you.
I agree with you.
Well, guess where the umpire's standing?
I'm just talking. Well, that's not even. This is a direct side angle. He's standing at a little bit of a turn there. But I think live, when you see it live, it doesn't look like one. When you see it super slow down, it does sort of on that one angle. But the overhead angle and the live view of it, I don't think at all.
Yeah. Now the Trucker.com text lines bringing up that he felt like he was forced to swing at that because the previous pitch was awful call. And look, umpires can change the course of at bats with bad calls. And that happens all the time.
The only reason that this is a topic is because 3 people got tossed on one decision. They were still down in the game, and they deserve to lose the game.
They did, and
this whole Bochy's blowing it up, and he's got to defend his guys of this was like the turning point. No, it wasn't. It would have been first and third. You had bases loaded, no outs in the 9th, and didn't do anything.
No one's dying.
So don't sit here and blame it on that check swing that was 50-50 or 45-55 in Bobby's world.
Why do you got to make it in Bobby's world? How come it
can't
just be
one.
in the accurate world?
Because you're the only one.
Fantext agrees with me.
Yeah, well, how many homers are on there? 877-881-1053, truckrate.com text.
By the way, now that they almost did it last night, and there have been several instances of it recently, I feel like, for the Rangers they've got the bases loaded and nobody out. I want to introduce you guys to the term because I'm going to start using it, and it's become a popular internet term. Chop, are you familiar? This is an older one, but are you familiar with the old reference toot bland? as a statistic.
Toot Bland.
It was a social media thing that stood for thrown out on the bases like a nincompoop. And it was something that people would use as basically base running years. So there's one that we need to catch on, and that's Noble Tiger. And that's no outs, bases loaded, ending with team incapable of getting easy run.
Yeah.
And so I think the Rangers in the last 2 weeks lead the majors in Noble Tiger.
Yeah.
Is that a stat?
It's like a loosely kept stat by social media these days.
God. The baseball terminology, it's a beating.
This is a made up terminology.
I'll tell you,
but
though,
I like it.
But just in general, like the other day, Sandler was tweeting out, what is, F war and war PF and element. I mean, it's a beating.
Yeah, F war.
I do think, though, it's better than the analytic terminology in football.
I disagree. I think there's way more baseball terms.
Oh, there's way more. Oh, yeah. But war, weighted runs created, or fielding independent pitching is easier than DVOA.
Yes.
DYAR. Alex, air yards less expected. CPOE. I mean, they're just cobbling numbers together in football.
Especially because so much of it with football, too, like a lot of the ones that catch on are like proprietary formulas where you don't even know every aspect of it. Whereas with baseball, you generally can calculate a lot of that stuff on your own.
Yeah, I guess launch angle and exit velocity is easier to understand than football.
Yeah, and that's not necessarily even analytics. That's StatCast stuff. But I think it's easier. It's also the game is slower, and it's easier just to say, oh, that person creates. If a weighted runs created, the league average is 100 and yours is 140. You create 40% more runs than the league average guy.
All right. What's BBR?
BBR.
Big, beautiful.
BB9.
Walks per 9.
Yep.
BF or TBF?
BF or
batter's face.
Good job.
Oh, batter's face.
DRA.
Defensive runs allowed.
Average. DRS.
Defensive runs saved.
Yep. FIP.
Fielder independent pitching.
FRAA.
FRA.
Sounds like insurance
something
company.
Farmers of America.
Runs average allowed.
ISO.
Metric.
Isolated power. Pagoda.
That's a projection model from the beginning of the season.
Pythagorean winning percentage.
That's your run differential, shows what you should be for the year.
Sierra.
She's married to Russell Wilson.
No, that's another. Isn't Sierra another one of those projection models from the preseason?
Again, but with a WOBA.
Weighted on base average.
WRC plus.
Weighted runs created plus.
UZR.
Ultimate zone rating.
Yes, what is that?
Defensive metric.
Which is flawed.
Fly ball revolution. Platoon split. I mean, good lord.
There's a lot, man.
Fly Ball Revolution sounds like a good band name.
It does. Yes.
I like it.
If I could ever learn how to play, Ryan, show me how to play an instrument. I'm going to create that band.
So there it is, little Ranger recap tonight. And again, you're about to go from good team, bad team, good team, bad team, good team, bad team with the schedule coming up. You're going to get the Blue Jays next tonight in Arlington, and we sent Tolos to the game.
They can mash, man. Those Blue Jays can mash. And they've got, 2 guys leading the league in All-Star voting with Chapman and Bichette?